I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there. Pull it up.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Well, I mean, there's not much to say, guys. Really, if you do have thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk's family and Charlie Kirk, I mean, those kids got orphaned and his wife got widowed today. And all he did was talk. That tells you something. For whatever reason, they picked him. They were that scared of him. Just go out and change my minds. That's all. This, as much as people would like to mog on Charlie Kirk, and I would, as this milquetoast moderate, conservative. That was the person they went after. I mean, if your goal was to radicalize more and more Republicans to lean further right, I mean, then yes, mission accomplished. But otherwise, why him? I mean, he had a lot of pretty milquetoast stands and positions. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to kill him. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We don't really know. At some point we'll learn, hopefully. And hopefully they actually caught the guy who did it. And the first guy wasn't. But think about that. Think about that for a second. This milquetoast bro. It just I mean that's what it just turned into here. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jim, thank you. I just saw your comment. So let me see here. Second suspect was let go. Yeah. Where is it at here? I just wanted to say. Yeah, his family was in attendance. I heard that. Yeah, get murdered in front of your kids. And Jim tells you, says, I sent you a ton of links to Discord. Thank you, Jim. I saw those. We'll go through some of those. Bunch of ones I found, but there's some more there I haven't seen yet. So thank you, Jim. Guys, see Jim over at Jim Tells You. You know, does pretty good. I like it. Does a lot of good reading the news, talking about the news, and he tells you. So, ultimately, there's something to be said that evil men curse your name, and they lament your existence. That's a pretty, you're doing something right in the world when evil men curse your name. And when evil men, ruthless and evil men seek your life. For they don't put God before them. That's an admirable position to be in life. When the truly evil out there fucking hate you with every fiber of their being. Is that a dangerous spot to be in? Yes. Do you think Charlie Kirk wanted to be a martyr? No. But that's one hell of a way to go out. That is one hell of a way to go out. And going out on top like that, where this person felt they had to kill you because you were such a threat to the evil shit they believed in. And not only what they believed in, but what everybody else believed in. Yeah, Mochi says they will never know their dad. Partially. But they will. They will know their dad through his deeds and his words. And I think they're going to be very fortunate in that regard, that their dad, how many things has he said that he's been cataloged and recorded and posted and tweeted and bookmarked everywhere? They won't know him like that, but they'll learn of him. And they're going to learn of him through his words and his actions, and they'll learn a lot. So, Mystery Sniper, I saw that. I'll take care of that. Give me a second. Yeah, they'll learn of his legacy. And yes, Charlie, you're 100% right. It's good to see you, man. They saw their father with blood pouring out of him. They saw him get struck down. And tonight they don't have a dad. And their dad's not home. Yeah, it's very fucked up. But when you think about that, those kids will learn. And they're gonna be, they'll know that people like their dad, and they'll know a lot of people hated their dad. But it won't be until they're truly older they're going to appreciate why so many people like their dad, and then why so many evil people hated their dad. But when they do, I'm sure it will give them a lot of closure. It's never going to make it all right, but at least they'll know their dad did what he did. But what does that leave us? Because we're not the Kirk family. So what do we do? What do we do as people? Now, I think it's pretty fair to say, and most of you here are very much on the right. Most of you are. I know a couple of you aren't. But what are you going to do about this? What do you look at? What do you do? And how do you handle things here? Well, certainly, yes. Whoever did this, whoever pulled this trigger, thank you for, if your goal was to drive more Republicans to the radicalized right and become reactionary or America First or whatever they are, or whatever group they may find, because now they realize being a moderate gets you attacked. I guess if that's your goal, congratulations. I mean, do you want more grapers in the streets? Do you want, when Republican speakers show up and right-wing speakers show up somewhere, they show up bands of armed gunmen providing defense? I mean, it's very Weimar-y. It's very Freikorps-like. Is that what you really wanted? I don't think so. And this is the big thing here. Night Goblin King Shig. You know, everybody, I joke about when it's time to, to do your Serbian death squad. I've kind of made that, it's a joke. And there'll be times when it's time to start up the Serb volunteer guard. And you stand there, holding up your pet lion and your pet tiger as part of your, group as you go, ethnically cleanse the next village over, and becoming a warlord. Yeah, that's a thing. But no, it's not. It's not time. It's not time. And I think people need to understand that. I don't care if I lose my if they take down the stream for this. But everybody thinks they're going to be the fucking warlord of the cul-de-sac. I joke about it, but I do not want that. I want all of this. This is the best goddamn world we live in right now. For those of you out there thinking you're going to be this guy, a lot of you think you're going to be the guy standing there. A lot of you think you're going to be this guy. You know who you're going to be? You're going to be these dudes down here on the ground. You're not going to be these guys. Nope. Not you. Not you. The very likelihood is you are these people. Do you really want to be those people? Because that's what's going to happen to most people if shit ever kicks off. So no, it's not time. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. And if you think it's time, and you think it's time to be this guy, it's not. It's not time. When you walk out on your front porch and all your neighbors are standing there with guns in their hands too, saying it's time, it's time. So what does that mean? When is it time? You won't know till it happens. It's like the rapture in a way. It'll come like a thief in the night. And then all of a sudden it's going to be game time. But right now, it's not it. It's not it. It's not it. Is it time to prepare? Is it time to take stock? Is it time to have, internal discussions with yourself about your mental fortitude, what you're thinking about, what you're doing? Are you preparing? Are you developing a network? Are you doing any of that stuff? Sure. But now's not the time. Now's not the time. Like I said, you'll know. You'll know. This isn't it. This isn't it. I don't want it to be that time. So Destiny's going insane. Yeah, he is. He is, and we'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. Yes, JD Straight Shot says Trump will do anything to distract from the Epstein list. Yes. And then, okay, yes, we'll make us. I guess Charlie Kirk got stream sniped. There. There, you got we got our jokes in tonight. Charlie wasn't afraid of dying. I'm sure he didn't want to. I'm sure if you asked him, would you want to die and your kids never know their dad, not really know their dad, I'm sure he didn't want that. I'm sure he would wish to avoided that at all cost. Badman says it's coming. Get ready. Sure. Just not now. It's just not now. So, yeah, the pot's simmering. The pot is simmering. So, Bella says we need some Clyde cuddles. Yes. And Stabby says something's about to happen on clock. Yes, it is. It is. It's quarter to midnight. It's 2 minutes to midnight, actually. It's 2 minutes to something happens. Mysterious Senior Hitler says even Hassan had to tell his audience to simmer down. This is dangerous. That's because people like Hassan realize, holy shit, if Charlie Kirk can get smoked, I can get smoked. It's not they're only simmering down to protect their ass. They're only simmering down to protect their ass. And in fact, I pointed this out with Brooklyn Dad, defiant. He's so defiant. And you could smell the fear. You could smell the fear. You can smell the fear on these people. It's palpable. It's palpable with these people. They are terrified. And here's Brooklyn Dad Defiant. You guys have seen him. He's so fucking cringe. He's always cringe. Look at him now. He says, whoever shot Kirk should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And then he says Republicans need to stop opposing common sense gun reforms, especially assault rifles. Guarantee this guy was killed with a bolt action rifle. So guess what? They're coming after sniper guns now. He says doing nothing is not working. You know what, though? This is a man who's scared. Oh, shit. They might come for me now. Maybe I'm the reciprocal part of this. Maybe there will be some reciprocity. Like I said, guys, don't do it. But if somebody does it, you can't pound on the fucking door and expect the devil not to answer. At some point, the devil will. That's just a matter of fact. It's just a matter of fact. And when I was on with Rob Noor earlier this week, Ryan Mullally asked, how do you stop a vendetta cycle? You don't. It has to burn out. It's a wildfire. It's an uncontained forest fire. It does one thing. It consumes and burns. And there's nothing you can do. It'll burn out on its own. How long does it go for? I don't know. The content lasagna says, how come Destiny's in jail yet? I don't know. And this is where you could see Destiny, this is the thing here, but some of you guys, you're saying the cat's not going back in the bag. Mm-hmm. Yeah. These guys are, I just don't think people understand it. This is not good. A bunch of people are terrified. But yeah, you see people like Destiny just acting like, fucking tardos. And, Destiny's trying to claim that, he's actually quoting Asmongold here and saying, look, Hassan's a bad guy. Problem is, I don't trust Destiny because Destiny beat his dick raw about a fireman getting murdered. So I don't trust Destiny. I don't trust Destiny at this point. And this is just, look at some of the shit from him. This shooting happened in Chicago. There are B-52s and F-35s flying overhead right now. Then he says, Destiny's trying to call people goals is very, very interesting. Very interesting. And Destiny says this is Nancy Mace is disgusting for saying this. What an
Democrats own what happened today. I am devastated. My kids have called panicking. All the kids of every conservative in the country called panicking. Just because you speak your mind on an issue doesn't mean you get shot.
Then by that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the two Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota? Isn't this on both sides?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm asking.
No, we're not running around screaming about fascism and Nazis. We're not. And that's the thing people don't understand. And that's the biggest problem here. There's Nazis and there's fascism. If you really believe that, there's only one way to get rid of it. Because guess what? If you really thought they were fascists, the fascists never gave up power. Did Mussolini ever give up power? Did Franco ever give up power? Did Hitler ever give up power? You run around and screaming about fascism. They never gave up power. That tells you there's only one. It's a one-way trip. And there's only one way out. The Nazis weren't voted out. So, no, nobody's running around screaming about, as much as I'd like to hear, physical removal of all these communists and, cheering on at people having shrines to Atoya Yamaguchi in their house. We're not doing that. We're not doing that on the right. We're not doing that on the right. This is the, screaming about fascism and Nazis forever and ever and ever. That's what it leads to. This is what it has led to. Because what do you do to the Nazis? There's only one way they got beat. People tried voting them out the first time around. Didn't work. Franco didn't give up till he died. And Mussolini didn't give up till they hung him upside down and murdered him and beat him to death. Just remember, chat, you think you hate journalists enough, but you really don't. You think you hate journalists enough, but you can never hurt them enough and hate them enough. And a common lawyer is correct. If you really think Charlie Kirk was a Nazi, what do you think the end result was going to be? Yeah. Nazis only have one, World War II taught you. There's only one way to deal with a Nazi. So. And Jose Rodriguez says, remember, the collapse of Yugoslavia was caused by a single bottle. Yes, it was one of the causes belli of the disintegration of the Yugoslav Republic. We're not going to talk about that, chat, but Google Count Dankula on YouTube and the bottle war, and you'll understand. Flip the Script says, yeah, he was a Nazi. If you think Charlie Kirk was a Nazi, I don't know what to tell you, man. If that's your idea of a Nazi. Holy shit, man. So, I wonder how Van Jones is feeling today. Yeah. Do you think the South Park highlighted the target on him? No. I mean, at the end of the day, no, South Park wasn't that. Really, South Park, that was, even Charlie Kirk laughed at it. Charlie Kirk put the Cartman guy as his profile pic for a little bit. It was very much one of those situations where it's just like, keep your rifle by your side. And all the other things the left tries to do to make fun of the right. And then the right's like, yeah, that's actually kind of funny. And they're like, no, you can't like this. They got mad when Charlie Kirk liked it. And he chuckled along with it. Charlie enjoyed the parody. Yeah, it's when you are being mocked like that, men who make billions of dollars, like they're making like what, $900 million by Paramount for South Park, and they spend money on you and their time on you. That's about an honor. That's an honor. So, you don't think it inspired his murder? Yeah, I don't think so, guys. And the other thing is, when you think about his murder and how this all came out in the assassination, this happened at Utah Valley University, and that's we'll zoom out here on this just so you guys can see it. And here is the university. You guys don't know where it's at. It's on the Great Salt Lake. Or no, is it not? Is that? No, that's Utah Lake. Sorry. Great Salt Lake's up there. Salt Lake City's here. This is Orem, Utah. And at Utah Valley University. And from what we understand, basically Charlie Kirk was over in this area. And the guy, what they think is the shooter, was up here. Up on this third floor, and this is about 200 yards, which if you have a rifle and you have a little bit of practice, all of you out there, even if you've never shot a gun, you could all be taught how to do it. Disclose, I think it might not. But ultimately, this is about 200 yards apart. So we really don't know ultimately what happened, but guys, this is a pretty close distance. Anybody, like I said, like a weekend, I could get you to make these shots, even if you've never held a gun. So it's not really a surprise this happened. Now, some of you might say, well, that shooting from a roof is a very amateur move, and it is. That doesn't speak of a highly trained gunman, because when you're, obviously it sounds like he got away, but when you're up in a building like this, it's hard to get away. So if you were trying to get a hold of Charlie Kirk, I mean, are there things you could do? I mean, yeah, if this is your target here, like, are you going to be down this way? But the problem is, people are walking back and forth at ground level. So it's really hard to take a massive shot. You've got buildings that have very tight spaces, and there's a lot of people traffic. And also, I don't know if this is flat terrain. This might undulate and go up and down through here. So at times, does it sound like an amateur? Yes, but also, if you do it right and you fire a gun in a setting at a school, guess what happens? Everybody runs everywhere, and you can get lost in the sauce very quickly. Yeah, lots of exits in the building. There could be footage from all the cameras now. Yeah, so. Oh, the Unfuck America website is gone. It's because they realized, you guys want to, that's the thing. Everybody talks about it, and nobody wants to be about it. You start screaming about I tell people, that's why you guys, have you ever seen me on Twitter? At LawTube Sean. People screaming about fascism. Go pick up a fucking strap if you really think it's fascism. If you really think the Nazis are in charge, there's only one way out right now. It's a one-way trip. And they don't do it because they really don't. It's all a grift. These people wouldn't know a Nazi if they saw one. Great says, not hard to get away when you have help. Yeah, but if you have a little bit of just being calm and dumping your shit and running, you could easily get lost in the sauce there in the middle of a shooting. It'd be pretty easy. Even if you're like an old person. Like you're there for the Charlie Kirk stuff. People from far and wide came over, so you just flee. Mysterious Senor Hitler says, fuck off with that, you lunatic. Well, no, we're going to talk about this stuff. We're talking about everything. And before the white guy they arrested was a distractor, allowing him to get away. Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be. Garrett says there's no exits on the roof. So Charlie Kirk was downhill in the bowl of the topography. Okay, well, that would help a little bit. But once again, you have this issue of, well, how far away would you go? I mean, yes, the true person wanting to take a shot is going to take a shot where you can be not easily detected, and you're going to be far, far away. The problem is there's buildings to the back of this area. There's buildings to the rear, so he's protected from the rear. No pun intended. But I mean, think about it. Are you going to, how far away is this from here? Can you see down into this valley? And that's part of the problem. If how would you take this shot? How would you do it? So is this guy likely some sort of super professional? I highly doubt it. Because you guys even saw from right here, you can't see down in there. You can't see that far away. And I don't know if it'll, there's no that would be a very difficult shot. So yeah, he kind of probably had to go where he had to go, but it does reek a little bit of, the students call it the gunt. Jesus. Matt Reddick says the line from where he's sitting to where he was hit shouldn't have been too hard to figure out. Yeah. So he probably has rifle sight at 50 yards. Yeah. There's a video of a guy in all black running on the rooftop. I know, and we're going to get to that here. We're going to get to that. So, let me see here. Cash Patel says that he's, the suspect in custody have been released, which that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And hold on here, chat. 1 second. I need to pull something up. When will this thing come up here? Well, Tim's got 102,000 people watching. Holy cow. Timcast. No, and you could, I will tell you, if you want to hear somebody that was truly saddened by what happened today, go back and listen to Tim's earlier stuff. I mean, it was a guy, I think Tim considers him a friend, and it was truly traumatic. Truly traumatic for him. Truly traumatic. But yeah, let's see if we could find some of these, because once again, like I said, I got this whole list of tweets here we could start hitting up. that show all kinds of stuff here. Let's see here. Where is, there's multiple statements by government officials that have come out. And some of them are just truly disgusting. But a lot of them, once again, these people realize they understand that, not only is it a health CEO, but now this guy got popped, and they're going to sit there and say, that could have been me. Yes, it could have been you. So on one hand, it is nice to see these politicians. Goddamn right, you should be scared. Oh, yes, please hit the like button, everybody. Erica says, I cried today, yeah. Brandon Tatum was upset. I bet he was. JD Delay, yeah, well. And been there, done that, says, my family member left the campus 20 minutes before. Thank God they did. Although it sounds like the guy was only taking one shot. Thank God nobody got trampled to death and stomped on. Thank God there wasn't a second shot or a bullet ricocheting. I'm happy your family members got out of there in one piece and safely. So, but yes, pray for Charlie Kirk. Pray for him. Pray for his soul. But at the time, it wasn't known that he was dead. But I will say, at the time, we didn't know that he was. He didn't know that he was dead. But yeah, in the meantime, like I said at the beginning, say a prayer for Charlie's family, his wife, his kids, but also say one for Charlie. That he's been accepted into heaven with his Savior, Jesus Christ, and is there now in salvation. It's a shame he had to do it this young, but it's good to know that he believed in God and, didn't go to hell. That Jesus was his Lord and Savior and that he's there. That's, like I said, guys, there's not a lot of silver linings here, but that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a positive one. That he left this mortal coil. Even though I'm sure he wanted to stay here and fight the good fight, he stayed here, to do what he had to do. And then he was called home. I mean, for him, his suffering was over. And he gets to live eternally. Did I say TMZ cheering when he died? No. No, I did not. Bifron says your whole life is more politics, worth more. Yes. Those who take this stuff that are far seriously troubled or something I don't understand. There are times to take it seriously, but once again, I mean, Charlie Kirk was able to have evil men curse his name to the point that they physically had to kill him. That's pretty noble. That's a pretty noble thing. That's a pretty solid way to go out. He's hanging with Russian Breitbart tonight? Sure. Think so. To think it this morning at work, the greatest thing I was thinking about was seeing PPP and Worski's response to iDubbbz. Me too. And I was getting ready, like I was thinking, am I going to have to go to trial on Friday or am I going to need a continuance because we just got a bunch of new evidence? And it looks like we're going to need a continuance. That was the biggest thing I was thinking about. And it's like, holy shit. William Smith says it's crazy they killed someone over words that they don't agree with. Well, that just shows you how powerful those words are. Shows you how powerful the truth is. Truth is treason in the empire of lies. I think Voltaire said that. But the honest man is a traitor. And Charlie Kirk spoke truth. And you guys could say, yeah, and he was, in the pocket of AIPAC and whatever. Sure. But in the meantime, he spoke a lot of truth. And they couldn't stand that truth. Yes, David, you said TMZ in the U.S. House. Yeah, this was just all the scumbaggery. We're going to go through all this now. So here's the scumbaggery thing going. You guys think it was Israel doing it? No, they're not that. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. I don't know. People message me right away. Like, I was in the middle of, working on things. And people are like, oh, my God, is he surviving? And I'm like, I looked at it, and I was like, I told a bunch of people, no, he's dead. And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, I've watched a lot of people get shot in my time. That's the one neat thing as a defense attorney and a prosecutor. You watch a lot of people get shot and killed. You're like, yeah, that person's dead. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that was it. That was it. For those of you I told you, no, he's dead, and I was just very blunt about it, I'm sorry, but it's just the nature of the thing. So, anyway, here we go. Here we go.
I have great news. Things are looking up for the American people. Not Charlie Kirk, for obvious reasons, but other things are looking up. I have great news. Things are looking up for the American people. Not Charlie Kirk, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Zimzir.
Breaking news. Charlie Kirk was in the neck. As of right now, I think his condition is unknown. There are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people. So on behalf of everybody else, I got this shit. I don't know if he's going to make...
Yeah, well, once again, it's funny. The people like her are the first people that, should things ever kick off, are the first ones who aren't going to make it. They are the first ones who don't make it. So, let them revel in their ignorance. Let them revel in their ignorance. Let them revel. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say at this point for these people, but let them revel. Let them revel. And yeah, well, anyways, we'll go to the Florida United States House. And we'll get to this. This really just yeah. This is a truly ridiculous moment here.
Let's wait a minute.
The fact these people don't fear you. They wouldn't act like this if they didn't fear their constituents. So when I see people in power show fear, it gives you hope because you understand, that they know that they can be reached. And they know they're not invincible. But apparently that woman in the back swearing, apparently she didn't get the memo yet. She's not invincible. She's not beyond reach. Remember, Chad, a 308 can shoot a mile. With very little training, you can make it go the distance.
A minute. The House will be in order. 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 We will join prayer right after this, okay?
And at least Mike Johnson had the balls to do that. I think that was Jasmine Crockett. I don't know why aren't you praying for all the kids that get shot every time? So Dolly says, how far can a P320 shoot? Yeah. So Alox, there's something happening on the floor of the house, and I think it was Lauren Boebert says, hey, can I motion the floor for a moment of prayer in remembrance of Charlie Kirk? And somebody in the back, as a Democrat, was the one screaming, fuck that. Kids are dead. Kids die, and we don't do anything. LCM Fig says, I recall Mike Lee joking about the 2 Democratic senators were shot. I'm pretty sure a lot of people got upset about that. Pretty sure a lot of people got set up about that. But once again, are we running around screaming about fascists and Nazis? And there's only one thing to do with fascists and Nazis? I don't know. I don't know, man. But also the idea is, if your argument is, see, we're as big a piece of shit as you are, that's not really an argument to make. See, we're big pieces of shit too. Like, that's not a bragging point. That's not a bragging point. I'm just saying. So, Midnight in Exile says Antifa are too incompetent. This was Netton's wet work. That's where you're wrong. Antifa is actually very organized. Believe it or not, they're very well organized, especially in cities that have a significant left-leaning population, like out in Salt Lake City, like Portland, and various places, Seattle. They actually have pretty decently organized groups. The way 2020 was a great example of what they were able to do with some basic preparation and training. So no, they're not incompetent at all for this. This is kind of up their alley. So press your brain January 6th for this. Oh, I know he did. We're gonna get to that one. Now. And it's just like, and I want to say, in besides for the bad things here, I think there are some good things to look at here. Like this guy here, Chandler Crump. He says, Charlie Kirk changed my life. He says, I attended Turning Point's Young Black Leadership Summit in 2018. I was 14 at the time, but Charlie told me it didn't matter how old I was. I could fight alongside him. And then from then on, he attended every Turning Point conference every year. He says, I grew up in the movement. I became the person I am today because of Charlie Kirk. I'll never be the same without him. And this country will never be the same either. That's pretty cool. From 14 to 21. And that dude, he's like 1/3 of his life he's known Charlie Kirk. That's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting way for that to go. So, like I said, not only do evil people curse his name, but righteous people, remembered him and was part of their lives. Like that is also a sign of a life well lived, that people looked at your life and you were able to that's something else to be that's a goal. I would say that is a goal. I would say that's a worthy goal. That is a worthy goal. And where is, hold on here. I'm trying to get the JB Pritzker quote. Hold on here, chat. Let's see. Oh, hold on here, guys. Let me see if I can bring this up. Okay. This is JB Pritzker. He's the governor of Illinois. So, real quick, I see well, God, you guys are just sending all kinds of stuff tonight. Do we think this was randos or a black op? I mean, it was probably somebody who put some time together and planning. Do I think it was some sort of super secret DNC cabal? No. Like I said, this is not a. This isn't the. And I wish I had Joe Dolio here, Tactical Wisdom. But when you look at this, guys, like this isn't a multi-month op that required a ton of planning. I'm sure that this coalesced together in about 2 weeks when it happened. I mean, was it planned? Sure. You have to plan this a little bit. But that idea that this required a ton of things here. You know, you wouldn't require that. You know, a little bit of planning, figuring out how to get on the roof, figuring out how to get down from the roof. I mean, look at this thing right here. I don't know what this building is. It's like a union or something. This is multi-terraced. So you'd like, look, you hop, like if you could figure out a way to get down, you're down again, and then you're down into like where everybody else is running around. I mean, it looks like it's very easy to disappear. So this isn't like the CIA getting ready to go bug something for Kim Jong-un. This is not that type of operation. This is not that type of operation. You know, you need to have some ideas on operational planning, but certainly you don't need yeah. This video shows how easy it is to access it. Which video, Jose? Let me see here. If you can send me the link, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is supposed to debate Hassan in a couple of weeks. I know KRM, you're out there. I mean, this is not a... Oh, at that timestamp. Which timestamp? Oh, drone... Okay, hold on. Kitty says, why, Sean? Why? People don't, people don't like it. Has the weapon even been recovered? I don't think so. Jose says it's in the link. I don't see a link. What link are you looking at? I don't see a link. I don't see a link here. If there was a link somewhere, that's the problem. You're telling me there's a link. I don't know where. There has to be a lot of cameras around, yeah, but if you show up masked up, if you penetrate the area not observed, then it works. So, Utah Valley University from above, 2018 at 42 seconds. Okay. Yeah, see, it won't let me click on the link here, but I'm gonna let me see if I can use this here. Let me see if I can grab this. You bet the shooter was trans. We don't really know. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yes, thank you. We'll use this real quick. And so here it is, guys. This would have been the shooter's position, shooting this way towards Charlie Kirk, from what I could tell. From what I could tell based on the maps. Based on the maps, this viewpoint looks to be that. So when you see this viewpoint here, I think this is the correct viewpoint then. And where is... Yeah. This is, I think, the viewpoint. So, I mean, look, it's not like he's on a 10-story building. Merrill Hill says, chat filter post with links. YouTube just doesn't let you post links if you're not a mod. But yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, like, yeah, it's not hard. Like, wow, think about that. That's going to be easy to disappear in this maelstrom. Down off this, over the fence, and you're down into a group of people. The fact they haven't caught him yet makes you sus. Like, I mean, yeah, here we go. This is actually even a better angle. So there you go, chat. I mean, like, if you were going to take the shot, it may have been better, like, to be, I wonder how back here would have been, or here, or here. I mean, heck, even here, if you're going to be up somewhere, But being like right here, that's kind of like, that's like DSP style, like yellow paint style. Although I did see something, apparently they thought some guy may have been over on this building here, but I don't think that's been confirmed. Click play, you stopped too soon. Okay. All right, so here, we'll just click this off then. So let's see what it shows us. I think my neighbors are smoking weed. I can smell it through the window. Jesus Christ. Well, guarantee you confess it to somebody. Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Let's see. Okay, if this brings us. I'm trying to see what we can look at here, chat. Hold on one second. I can smell it too. Clyde smoking. Yes, Clyde smoking. Clyde is smoking the hippie lettuce, chat. So. So I think that's it. I don't think it shows the rest of what we're looking for, chat. Yeah, this doesn't show the rest of it. Okay, well, there you go. There you go. There you go. Yes, Destiny's Unfuck America said the guy asking the question at that time is one of their guys. Fox News interviewed a witness that made him look suspicious. Video on Destiny's Kiwi Farms. Okay. YouTube's pissing me off today. It pisses everybody off. It's Clyde says I'm gonna treats. Well, I don't know if he's even gonna come in here right now. So Brad says he just heard. Yeah, it's and we were going to JB Pritzker here, so hold on. We're gonna go to JB Pritzker, the governor of the great state of Illinois. You happen to be there. This is your governor. So here we go. Hold on, guys. I get too many tabs. I'm like Kershaw. I got too many tabs open right now. Here we go.
My sympathy to Charlie Kirk's family and to Charlie Kirk, who obviously has, become a target for somebody. I don't know whether it's political violence because I don't know who did it. I know they seem to have somebody in custody. But I will say that political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly, have tripped.
Okay. How did Trump do this? How did Trump do this there, boss? I want to know that one. Yeah. Doesn't mention the 2 assassination attempts on Trump. Doesn't mention any of that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. The January 6th started this. Or, Trump's rhetoric spawned somebody to go out and hunt Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. That doesn't make much fucking sense at all. He is a shitbag. He is a shitbag. But he's running through. He's running through their cards. They got their play cards. January 6th. Trump. Oh shit. And they have no more cards left. Yes. 86 Pritzker. Yep. Apparently it doesn't mean nothing wrong. 86 Pritzker. It just means get him out of office. 86 Nancy. Interesting. Nancy Pelosi, 86. Van Jones, 86. Everybody. Just means get it. I don't want him to have a job no more. It's a game we're going to play. It's a game we're going to play. So, yes, hashtag 86 Pritz. I like that. I like it. Trump's remarks were good. They were very good. I did hear those on the way home. But that is the caliber of people we're dealing with right now. That is the caliber of people we're dealing with. Now, this is an interesting one here. This is Harry Sassoon, I'm assuming because he's probably sassy. He's probably a little sassy boy. He lives a TikTok, said, "This is war." Like, okay. It's one thing if you're going to say this is war and you're fucking Andrew Breitbart.
Fuck you. War.
If you're Andrew Breitbart and you say this is war, it's great. But Chaya Raichik from Lives a TikTok, like, okay, honey, you talk about troons. Like, you're not going to be holding workshops on how to wire up IEDs and do sniping attacks and everything like that. You're not going to be doing that. I mean, if you really want to be doing that, like, where is it? Here we go. I'm just saying, chat, but you need a study aid. In addition to the 7-8 that's out there, Fry the Brain: The Art of Urban Sniping and Its Role in Modern Guerrilla Warfare by John West. Never a bad read. Never a bad read. Get some tabbies up in there. Get yourself some learning. But I don't see Lives a TikTok. This is war. It's like, honey, who are you fighting? What war are you going to? What war are you going to? So I will say I do applaud Harry. I understand he's doing this because he's just a little weasel, and like these little weasels, he's worried this could be me one day. Some guy shows up at one of my things with a 38 and puts a hole in my forehead. And he says declaring war is not only dumb but dangerous. You might get views and likes of social media, but it only divides us further and puts more people in danger. You could smell the fear off of people like him. You could smell the fear. It just wafts up into your nose. You could smell it on them. Nobody left or right should be speaking like this. Yeah, remember, like I said, guys, everybody thinks they're going to be that dude with the gun. Give me the guy laying on the ground with a hole in your head. But Harry, you could smell the fear on these people, and they know. They know. They know ultimately. They know. And it's sad because they understand what they're dealing with. They understand what they're dealing with. But they're not it's just ridiculous what they're doing. So Trump spoke out about Charlie Kirk, and I do think it's interesting to hear what he had to say about this.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And as far as things go, Trump is one of the few people who he can say, tone it down. Because unlike everybody else, Trump has suffered the violence. But you know what? And once again, it's still a difficult thing. Still a difficult thing. Sean says, rip King Cobra, rip Joe Rogan, DUI to the Grand Canyon, August 2025. Yeah. There are some things here, though, I do think need to be addressed. And we'll get to all these here, and I'll get to some super chats. Real quick, though, I think, Maddie, where is it? You had it. Yeah, the moment of silence for Charlie Kirk is not bad. If you want to say a prayer, please say one for him and his family. I'm sure he would very much appreciate it. Let me see here. But yeah, if you do, yeah, Maddie's like, can we do a moment of silence for Charlie? Sure. I'll give you a second here. So. Let's see here. I think I got a lot of you guys' comments here. Making sure I try to catch everybody. By the way, guys, if you're new, my name's Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. We cover all kinds of topics, mainly like legal stuff, but yeah, this is pretty breaking news, pretty serious stuff. And every once in a while, we do some political shows, still involved in that way. So Just Cause says, I'm telling you, at the firehouse, we talked about this for hours. People are pissed. Yeah, they are. They are. But once again, don't be buffalo jumped. Don't be buffalo jumped. Don't be stampeded off a cliff. This is the time for measure. You know, I know I'm whether or not you feel it's a time for action or that will lead to action. That's your decision. I don't think we're there yet. But if you do feel action is necessary, now is the time for measure. To collect yourself, to assess. And then if you feel it's necessary, then do it, but not acting without measure. Marlene says Charlie battled principalities and powers. Yes, he did. He did. David over at Making Law Simple, he says, for $5, don't forget about Russia attacking Poland. It is World War III and a civil war all at the same time. Well, thank you, David. Yeah, I don't think so, though. And if you guys don't know, a bunch of Russian Garan drones, like 6 or 7 of them, and a missile went into Poland. And they got kind of far. It wasn't just like on the border, but we went to Rzeszów, Poland, where the major NATO air station is, basically. But I kind of get the feeling, though, with all the jamming Russia's doing and all the jamming NATO's probably doing, it wouldn't surprise me if shit got haywire. But who knows? If that was really it, that was a pretty limp-wienered attempt to do things, because even Belarus had to shoot down things that went to their airspace. So we don't really know yet what's happening there. But in the meantime, I really don't care what's happening in Ukraine. I mean, we got problems here, big ones. HD Cupcakes says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. The deepest condolences to wife Erica and his 2 small children. Yep. Very true. Torgo the White says the left does not seem to understand that Charlie was not the river. He was the dam. Yes. Yes, they attacked a moderate. And that moderate is what kept a lot of people probably from becoming radicalized or becoming further right. But to all of you out there who are right-wing reactionaries now, or you've discovered that you are, welcome, brothers. Welcome. 4M470, it's good to see you, saying my heart aches. I can understand that. You know, he was a person. It's a person with kids. Someone called him dad. You know, someone called him husband. Someone called him son. Someone called him brother. Tachyon Black says we're at DEF CON 2. I mean, things are ratcheting up. They're only going up and up and up and up and up from here. And Katie says, as someone who came to faith as an adult, I'd be lying if I said Charlie didn't have a part in that. Well, you know, I guess be appreciative that he had a part in that for you, and say a prayer for him that he helped bring you to your faith. Ilwar is saying it wasn't a turning point, but it's just confirmation of what we already know. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Is it America's turning point? No. The ball's already been kicked off. We're already past kickoff at this point. Mysterious Senor Hitler says Charlie Kirk was a milquetoast, middle-of-the-road conservative that just talked and debated with people, and nothing else, and these lunatics got him. They hated him. They hate you. They hate me. Yes, that part's true. You know, as you know, Sam Hyde, I mean, what he said is still evergreen. Is still evergreen when it comes to things. You know, this is, you know, as he said, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And these people hate you. You know, these people want you broke, dead, your kids raped and brainwashed. And they think it's funny. They think it's funny. They think it's funny. They think it's funny. Yes, and Torgo the White says Charlie Kirk was not the river, he was the dam. Yes, I agree. Did I see that twice there? I don't know. It's a small girl says this brought Mr. Medicare out of his rest. I'm sure it's going to bring Jim out. Yes, Jim Medicare. Why won't you die, Medicare? I'm sure it's going to bring him out, and I can't wait to hear what he's got to say. It'll be good. Thank you for your super chat. Sleazy for $10 says, Fed post, lose your rifle barrels, real world censored by YouTube in a boating incident, and have an alibi. Yes. Yes. Very true. And Brooks Euchre, been a member for 12 months. Thank you, Brooks, for your support, man. Says, today's a sad day for our country and its future. It is. It is. It's not a good day. This is not a good day. If you think this is a good day, this is really fucking bad. This is really fucking bad. Keopathic says, Jim's already made statements. I know, but I'm sure he's going to do a show. Let's see here. Tim of Tam says, Charlie died so Jim could live a second time. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And Pepsi Man, yes, says Charlie's been grinding since he was 17. He gave his entire adult life to the cause, and I like to think he was rewarded by making many college-age kids interested in politics. Rest in peace, Patriot. Yeah, that's the thing. Charlie, like, you know, as much as I think he was cringe at times, Charlie's been about it. Like, he's 31, guys. You know, granted, his forehead and the Reaper was coming. The Reaper was coming for that hairline. Just the Norwood Reaper, not the Grim Reaper. But yeah, Charlie's been banging it out his entire 20s. He ground it out to make Turning Point the, you know, monster it is now. And that'll be his legacy. That'll be his legacy. Jim is going to call him cringe for one last time, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Let's see here. Jasper the Cat. Oh, wow. Does Phil know you're spending his money like this? For $2 says nothing will come from this, only bad. I mean, a lot of it's going to be bad, but like I said, there is some good. There is some good, you know, that to learn how, you know, I mean, have the memory of a good man. I know it's not much of a, you know, consolation, but yeah, most of it will be bad. But from every tragedy, there is hope. There is some promise. May not be where you're expecting it, but it's, you know, hope springs eternal. May sound cheap and chintzy, but it's true. Hope springs eternal. BobTube for $5 Australian dollar dues says, why is it only people on the right who get shot? They use their own gun violence to force gun control. Well, I don't know how much longer that's going to happen. So, yeah, just worry. Pie Baker says, can I just point out that the fucking hypocrisy of the left saying the right is violent, warmongers, when they shot how many peaceful speakers? Whose rhetoric is inciting violence? I agree. Fred Rush has been a member for 12 months. Thank you, Fred, for being here. Thank you for the support. Says, bro, I'm literally the main character, though. Charlie Kirk was the main character, though. Yeah, he actually was. Like I said, went out a king. And Cool Boy 52 says, I don't want to be any of those guys. I'm just a real cool boy. Yeah. I just want to be a cool boy. I want to be potentially criminal. I want to come home. I want to stream. I want to fuck around. I want to play some squad. I want to paint my, you know, I want to paint my German guy that I'm working on. I want to paint this dude up, get him finished. You know, I want to go be a lawyer and have fun doing that. Spend time with Mrs. 2.0. Spend time with Clyde. Go fishing in Lake Erie once in a while. I want that. I want that. I want that. I don't want civil war. I don't. So, Chugi Show for $9.99. Thank you. He's saying, how's this person not in custody? He was 200 yards away. And how did he go unnoticed? I mean, it's when nobody's looking for you, you're invisible. Yes, if Charlie had counter sniper teams set up and surveillance up, they would have detected this guy right away. But also think about it. Once the shooting happened, I'm sure people fucking panicked. And then disappearing in a crowd of people that scatter in every direction, it's easy to get lost. You throw a hoodie on with a backpack and put your hood up and walk away and disappear into the fucking wilderness of everybody running around. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's easier than you think to hide. Yes, Jose, we did cover this. Yes, Yugoslavia's collapse was caused by a single bottle up a guy's ass. Yes. Kevin Dorr says, in light of today, how did those protesters get that close to POTUS last night? Why did it take so long to clear them out? Who told them where they'd be? It's because Trump wants that, and believe it or not, those people are being watched like hawks. And, if you guys remember, there was that dude when Trump got shot, that guy came up to the front of the stage with his rifle, and had anybody even accidentally got pushed over that fence, like people were going to get center punched. So, his executive protection is, Secret Service, his personal security detail, his own private guys. Those guys are all amped up. So it's okay. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. So, yeah, Charlie Kirk he would have had security. He could have had armed security with him. A couple of guys with handguns, and then a couple of guys who were meant to be like physical shoving around. But he wouldn't have had a guy sitting on a roof with a rifle. That's just not something he probably could have afforded or thought to get. I mean, who would have thought he would get sniped like that? Nobody. Jeff D says, at least it happened in Utah, so we would get prosecuted. They have to find the guy first. This happened in California. Newsom would have let him off and thrown a parade. Yeah, or he would have been charged federally and then executed. So remember, the feds, they don't forget about you. DF88 says the Nazis had to get down and dirty to root out the communists. Maybe we should take note. Maybe we should fight back. Our patience has its limits. Once again, now is not the time. No, it's not time. I know it sounds great to say it, but guys, it's not. It's not. We're in that awkward phase. It's too late to vote, and it's too early to shoot people. But like I said, when it's time, you'll know it's time. But it's not time now. Pepsi Man says the Nor one comes for us all. And Tech Guy South says, well, you're kind of cringe too, Sandwich Man. I never denied that. I've never denied I'm not cringe. Like, that's the thing. I fully accept. I am what I am. I am what I am. Heretic Channel says, it's not the time because Fatty wants to go fishing. I mean, more or less, yes, but also it's not the time yet. If you think it's time, go look at what happened to like Sarajevo. Do you want that in your town? Is that what you want right now? Do you want like neighborhoods, and just random death squads rolling? And the thing is, a lot of people think a civil war situation would be two-dimensional. It's not going to be. It would be three-dimensional. And that's the thing I don't think a lot of people really understand. And Matt Bracken, if you guys have never read him, he is a very good writer. But he's demonstrated this before and has explained it multiple times. There are, a civil war would be multiple axes going after each other at the same time. Kind of like Lebanon. Yeah, kind of like Lebanon. It's not just left and right or anything like that. It's going to be multifaceted. You're going to have two massive groups. It's going to be racial. It's going to be political. It's going to be socioeconomic. So this idea, I don't want it. Do you think you want it? Like, you think you want this? You think you want this? You don't want it. You don't want it. This is still worth trying to fight for. It's still worth trying to fight for. Like, you think you want it, but it would be fucking awful. Even for the people that survive, it's going to be awful. So yeah, I like the way our life is right now. Are there a lot of things that are wrong? Yes. And I hope there's a way we could fix it, but we are not at that point yet. Heretic says, wait till our kids have to deal with it. Well, okay, buddy. Then, strap up and show me the way, hero. Strap up and show me the way. Get started. Put in that work. Let me know what you're thinking. Brimstone says, that's why the left will continue to win. Well, You know, like I said, if you think it's time, man, then go fucking tool up. If you think it's time, go tool the fuck up. And inspire me. Is that legal advice? I mean, it's not legal advice, but I'm just saying, if you're the one out here screaming about you want to get it on so bad, you know, if you're walking, like you're the one walking around with your dick hanging out of your pants, screaming about how bad you want to fuck, then get to fucking. Show me, like, fucking start laying pipe. Show me you're about that. Like, you know, show me it's time. I don't think it's time. It's for you to convince me. I don't know how I'm being smug, but okay, I guess. So, you're just stating an observation. Well, I'm stating an observation. You're here too. You don't think it's time. You're here on YouTube. You really thought it was time. You'd be working on a group, getting ready. So, I just sound like the left. I'm just telling you, now's not the time. I'm not saying violence isn't the answer. I think it is an answer. It's just not right now. Just not right now. It's not right now. So, well, you don't think there'll ever be a time you don't think the right will ever take action. Well, that's something there too. So we're going to keep going here. We are almost, it's going to be a little while till we get this. I got to answer it now. Mikey for $100. $100. Thank you, Mikey. Says, I saw Charlie Kirk speak in 2016, months before the election. I spoke with him for a quick second and even shook his hand. Nice guy. Not right-wing enough for me. I would agree too. Not right-wing enough for me. Even then, and I apologize, Mikey, I hadn't seen this right away. But his death today is a reminder of the good of what was. How since it has been violently taken away. Yeah. I fully agree. I fully agree with you. I fully agree. And Mikey, thank you for that support. I appreciate it, man. So very much. So very much. Let's see here. Walter Malone says TMZ was live streaming when they got an early confirm. Passing the news media cheered. You can't hate the media enough. I saw that, but apparently they were like a bunch of news people are watching a police chase. I'm sure Harvey Levin was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Shut up. But no, I don't think they were. But yes, you can still hate journalists enough. You still don't hate them enough. And then Jose says Google Earth has 3D modeling with LiDAR buildings. That's actually, let me see here. I wonder if we'll bring that up later. It says, been there, done that, so my family member left. Yes, thank you. And Aaron Hack for $20 says, raising two girls, 23 and 15 in a blue state is hard. They hear from friends and teachers all day that they don't agree with. Talking to your base parents isn't cool. It never is. But Charlie was cool to them and a good teacher. Sad day. Yeah, well, that's, once again, give them something to notice this by and to be proud of. Yeah. It is there. Petsy Man saying there was no police chase on the scanners. Okay, well then I guess we are going to watch this. But this one here is the one I think worth looking at. Listen to this shit healing bitch. Listen to this. Hassan the Hun.
There is a closer footage of Charlie Kirk getting shot in the neck here as well, where you can oh, he's dead. Oh my God, he's definitely dead. Oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Oh my God.
The guy fucking talking about intifada and fucking terrorism in Palestine. Somebody actually getting shot. Like, wait, that could have been me. Life comes at you fast, buddy. Life comes at you fast, Shank's nephew. Life comes at you fast, isn't it? It's a little more real when it's like a couple hours away from your multi-million-dollar home, isn't it, Hassan? It's a lot more real, isn't it? It's a lot more real. A lot more real.
Oh my God. Oh.
This is the face of a man who wanted to talk about it, but will never be about it. This is the face of a man. He came playing with a fucking airsoft gun on camera. Bitch made. Playing with his little faggy airsoft gun. That's what Hassan was doing. That's Hassan Piker. And then when someone actually gets clipped, oh my God, like he's fucking reacting like he's, yeah, Muddy, I've seen a lot of fucking dead people. Bitch made. Bitch made. Pussy. Pussy ass motherfucker. Hassan did this so he didn't have to debate Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, he was gonna get killed. Yeah, life comes at you fast, Hassan. 3,000 feet a second. Superior Naps, does anyone know where I could see a closer version of the video? I can't show it, guys, because YouTube will nuke us if we show it. So, not exactly the best thing. So, it's out there if you go on Twitter. It's out there if you go on Twitter. But just look at him. This is a man who...
He definitely got shot in the neck. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck.
That's fear. Right there, chat. That's fear. That's a scared little boy. That's a scared little boy. Shit changes you. Yeah. He'd be foolish not to be afraid, yeah. He's smart enough to know, oh, fuck. That could be me. I don't think he's faking. That's not fake. That's not fake. The silence, that's not faking, Cat. That's a man who realizes, like, I'm playing a game that's really fucking real. All this Zionism and intifada shit, like that he's thrown his lot in with some, like, I think he's afraid of the right, but he's also afraid of the hard left. Like, he's thrown in with some really fucking nasty people. He's saying you saw it and you wasn't phased. Am I broken or am I seasoned? No, if you've been accustomed to seeing death, you've seen a lot of dead bodies. And for a lot of people, watching death on the internet's kind of a thing now. But for Hassan, I guarantee you he's watched a lot of people die. This is a man who watched someone die that could be him. He sees him there. Charlie Kirk and Hassan are basically, I consider them equals. This is a man who realizes that he is mortal. Very mortal. Yeah, he wanted to be a gangster, and now Hassan sees what gangster shit entails. Hassan wanted to be a gangster, and now he found out what gangster shit means. And he don't want that smoke. Why should he be afraid? Because he's afraid of the left. The biggest fear if you're on the left is not the right, it's the left itself. Because the left wing is very good at purging itself and attacking itself. Throughout history, the left wing will attack itself. So, yeah, that's processing. 100% real fear. Yeah, look at his dog looking at him. Yeah, his dog's like, uh-oh, buddy, are you all right? It got very real for him. Got very real for him because, you know, he's been talking about all this shit and he's like, wait, I don't want this. This life I have, this $3 million house in WeHo, my electric Porsche, I want to keep all that. I don't want to lose it. I'm not built for that life. I'm not built to be a revolutionary. Once again, chat, as Mark Antony once said, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. I don't think the guy's acting. So. Yeah, you can't be a lol cow if you're dead. You get put in the memoriam section of the farm, so you're still a lol cow. So, but let's focus on Hassan just being quiet for a couple fucking seconds here.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. No.
That's 10 seconds of dead air. That's real.
That footage, that you do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. You do not want to see that. That footage, the close-up footage shows very clearly immediately blood pouring out of his jugular. He gets shot in the neck, blood pouring out of his jugular, like an unimaginable amount of blood pouring out of his jugular. There is very, very little chance that he survived that. I don't know if he did, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh my God. That was fucking devastating. Holy shit. I don't know what to say. Oh my Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. America is so absolutely fucked.
You helped make it this way, buddy. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault there, Home Slice. So, he's pulling Dark Seven Phil. I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Yeah, he was a cheerleader of the whole thing. Amateur Iconoclast, been a member for 20 months, says, as Mike Ehrmantraut once said, Hassan, you are in the game. And that's true. I agree. I don't want to play. People I don't want to participate. The game's already been played. You're stuck in it. You don't get to leave. Well, I don't want to do this. The fight has already commenced. It's going to happen with you or without you. And yes, real quick, I'm going to catch up to everybody else here in a second. But yes, Grimsbar, it's good to see you, man. Been a little while. For $5 says, Hassan had his reaction. There wasn't even spaghetti. He had no chicken nuggies either. Hassan did this nuggie free. Surprisingly. Hassan did this nuggie free. Shredder S 07 gifting 10 subs. That gets you, chat, that gets us on a woo tonight. It gets you in a woo. I can't get Clyde to come in and do a woo for us, so that gets you in a woo. Thank you for your support, your generosity. Peyton Wong is saying Charlie Kirk has laid down his burdens in this world. Yes, he has. He has. Uncle Gary says, how many cats is that blob own? Which one? Pritzker? Mysterious Senor Hitler says, these ghouls need to wait until he's in the ground before they start grave dancing. A woman lost her children, a woman lost her husband, and the children lost their father. Psychos all. Well, that's because they're ghouls. You are asking for reason from hyenas. They are feral animals. Scarecrow says, be sweating if you're driving through flyover country with smarmy leftist bumper stickers. Yeah, hey. As the saying goes, protect your neck. Protect your neck. Midnight in Exile, we already addressed this one, but thank you again. Palmyra Media for 20 subs. Thank you very much. Helping make America green again. That's right, chat. Helping pray the gray away, making everybody green. Remember, when you donate subs, chat, when you donate memberships, you are helping crush the gray menace that's out there and converting them to be green. And it looks a lot like this. It's what you look like. That's what it looks like when Clyde the dog looks like a giant robot and crushes all the grays. And then Pomeranian Media for 18 months support. Thank you for being here, man. It's a long time. Thank you. It says, so busy, haven't been able to be too supportive. Guys, if you're commenting, that's support. You're liking the stream, that's support. You know, if you're coming in here and liking it, if you're thumbs up, thumbs down, that's all support. If you're sitting here lurking, that's support. I appreciate it. You know, it says there's like 750 people in here right now, and then 700 over on Twitter. If you guys are here, thank you for the support. I appreciate that. That's support. This is support too. I won't say it's not, but thank you for just being here. Thank you for being here. So, Big Chunga says, can Tim Pool finally be right this time? No, still not right. It's still not time. I'll tell you when it's time. It's not yet there. We're not yet there, chat. Jose Rodriguez checking the drone footage. The roof of the building was easily accessible. It's only separated from the parking garage walkway by a chest-high wall. Yeah, we saw that. That's an easy place to get in and out of, or hop down off that and into the crowd. It'd be easy to disappear. Super Iron Bob for $10. Thank you. Says YouTube's a bunch of wives, boyfriends, watchers. Cucks, for those of you in Rio Linda, who won't let me send in memoriam. He will be missed. Yes, Charlie Kirk will be missed. Fatty Caddy, who's been a member for 11 months. Thank you, Fatty Caddy. Says, Charlie lived as he died with his lips around Mossad. I don't agree with that, but yeah. Jose says, click play, you stopped too soon. I did see that, so we took care of that. Timmy Carl says, as someone has worked as a security guard, most college campuses don't have CCTV. Yeah, but remember, it is 2025. So you'd like to think so. But remember also, guys, you know what the coolest thing is? Everybody's got a security camera in their hands. So, and then Mikey, once again, thank you for the $100. Yeah, nice old red boy. And it's not Argentine pesos either. Once again, I love you guys from Argentina. I love getting the Argentine pesos anyway. Very based. But yeah, Mike, I'm glad you had that great story and some good memories for him. And then the short stacked goblin. Speaking of people, you know, Vosh isn't as prominent on the left, but even someone like him, I bet, is shitting a brick today. Leftive is a moral cancer on the soul of America. I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys should go read Hans Hermann Hoppe and learn about the principles of physical removal, but you should read about the principles of physical removal. And light a candle for your boy, Otoya Yamaguchi. Read up on him, doing God's work. Bush says the flags are up in my neighborhood. You know what? And that's, if you want to honor Charlie, you know, keep him in your thoughts, rep the fucking set. Put an American flag up today. Put your flag up, fly it high. Rep the set. Rep the set. Be pro-America. America first. Not a bad way to do it. Not a bad way to do it. Kaz is saying, yes, Snake. Eventually something will give, though. It just can't keep going on. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, Kaz. At some point it will, but it's just not yet. It's just not yet. Yes, there will be a civil war to surpass all civil wars. David from Making Law Simple. Thank you again, David, for $1.99. Says, I have more to say about this. Scarebro says, waiting for the schizo theory, Trump ordered this to get a blank check to open the camps, or that this was done to to hide the Epstein stuff. Yeah. Scarebro's been a member for 12 months. Says, but do you want this mouth-watering Dagwood? I actually don't like the Dagwood style sandwiches I've seen places make. They're not that appealing to me. Like I said, not a big ham guy. Not a big ham guy. JD Straight Shot says, we all have jobs, dude. How are we supposed to do Civil War? Like, where do you go do one? Well, I mean, in reality, what would a Civil War look like? It would be very asymmetric. You wouldn't see a lot of stand-up fighting. You'd see a lot of localized attacks. And by attacks, you wake up one day and your neighbor or somebody in your cul-de-sac is laying in the street with a bullet to the back of their head. And when you find them, their hands are tied together with electrical wire and their hands are swollen up to the size of like Mickey Mouse gloves because they spent days being tortured. before they were killed. Or you hear about your brother in the next town over being murdered. You'll see random attacks and drive-bys and bombings. It'd be very much a shadow style war. It wouldn't be a lot of straight up fighting. It would be a lot of asymmetrical things. So that would be a lot of it. That would be a lot of it. You'd see you wake up in the morning and somebody on the other side of town, the whole family's dead in their house, or a house burned to the ground, or some ambush, a car driving down the road in broad daylight gets ambushed, only that car, and everybody runs off. That's kind of what you'd see. Kind of what you'd see. So you could all keep your jobs. You could keep your jobs for a while. Dave says, any word on Billy Wagner yet? No. The Court of Appeals is still working on it, so no updates on it. Flebo Gazigig says, so something like the Troubles? Kind of. It'd be more like Colombia, where you have like the FARC, and then you have the UNC, or the FNC. Is it? Yeah, the FNC, the FARC. And then on the other side, you have like Los Pepes. And then you have the government, all just fucking going at it, and the cartels are thrown into the mix. You'd have all these organizations just banging it out with each other. It would be a it'd be a multi-scale fight. A multi-scale fight. So Jefferson Post says this is the left flailing and losing high ground. It is. Stephen Cooper says days like today remind me of General Sherman's position on reporters. I don't disagree with you. Heritage Channel says, calm down, fatty. You'll have a heart attack and scare the fish. Well, I don't want to scare the fish. That would be bad. The Mark Green Experience for $10 says, hey, I'm late. Sorry about the Charlie Kirk stuff, but what do you think about the new update for Squad? It looks promising. I haven't played it myself, but I watched Moy Dog give a review, and I was like, although he's kind of like, he's shilly for it, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I kind of like Squad in the earlier iterations of it. Like I said, I haven't really played it probably in like 6 months, but I need to play it again. So, and I need to get a capture card. One night here, we'll play, and you guys can watch me play Squad. And this is how you don't play Squad. So, but overall, Squad is still a great game, I think. Regis Theron for $5 says, Sean and his shitbag friends wanted this. True. They say they want this, and he sits there unable to see the consequences of his own rhetoric. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Let's see here. Tianetta is saying, what is Squad? Yes, Squad is a video game. It's a computer game where you fight basically as basically the max size you could do is like 40 on 4, or it's like, hold on. How big can you do Squad? Yeah, basically you have 2 infantry platoons with some combined arms. So like you get a tank and a Bradley, or a BMP and a T-72. And as infantry units, you engage on a map. So there's a lot of like, it's a walking simulator where once in a while you shoot people. But you're engaging, you're trying to take objectives, and you'll engage people at like 150, 200, 300 yards. And you'll have somebody with like a machine gun, and he sets up a base of fire, and you try to maneuver. And then, people can call in artillery. And there's, different things you can do with it. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah. So, Robin Hood says Sean will finally play Squad. Yeah, well, I played it. I've got like 1,000 hours in Squad. Super Iron Bob says Han's only fear is fuck. This is one of my fans. That easily could be a case here too. Wrestler Town says, I'm excited that these people are getting scared of it actually going down, but I also suspect they're just showing their belly, hoping we back off. Certainly, they are. That wouldn't surprise me. Linda Richards said the Zapruder film was far more graphic and aired constantly on TV. It was, but I mean, the idea that you could see a man die in HD is still something we're getting over there. Jefferson Post says Hassan just saw he was on the East German side. Yeah, a little bit there. Gabriel Loken says The camera was on the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think Hassan really cared at that point. Philip says, after this, Hassan ran to Twitter to joke about it. What a piece of shit. Well, yeah, he had that moment, and now he's like, after that fear had gone away, he went back to get a high, to go make a joke. I'm not scared. It's just like Kurt Russell said. It's like, goddamn right you're scared. I can fucking see it in your eyes. He can make whatever joke he wants. That was a scared ass man right there. Shredder S07 again for 10 subs. Another woo. Tia Nena's been a member 17 months. Tia, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. And then Roosevelt Media News for $5 says Kash Patel stated the person in custody has been released, so the shooter's still out there. Yeah, that's the scary part. The shooter is still out there. Did you see Matthew Dowd basically blaming Kirk and MSLSD, apologizing for it? I think he's the guy. Let me see here. I think I saw his. I think Valiant Renegade had him up for a second. Let me see if I can bring him up here. Bring up that guy. If he's the guy, I think. Yeah. I think I found it. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring up the clip. Let me see if I can bring up the clip. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is just Copenhagen right here, you guys. This is just Copenhagen. Why is this? Hold on here. There we go. Why is this? There we go. All right, this is on the Daily Caller. I couldn't find it on Twitter right away. But this is Matthew Dowd from MSNBC.
We don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up on what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups.
I mean, really, he's not. He has not been that fucking divisive. Like, really? No.
And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that
he basically said he deserves it. Although remember what I said at the beginning, run around screaming about Nazis and fascism. Those aren't hateful words that have led to a hateful action? Well, no, because he can't be held responsible for this.
People just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Fuck him. Once again, you do not hate journalists enough. You do not hate journalists enough.
Look what water weight does to your body.
You don't hate journalists enough. So, Kitchen Knife Rescue's been a member for 16 months, says, thank you for the support, by the way. May the pain in our hearts not fester in a rage. And that's, once again, guys, I agree. This is the time for reflection. The time for action comes later. Like I said, I don't think it's now, but if you think it's now, pause and evaluate your situation, evaluate your plans, and then if you're going to do it, please don't do it. But that's when you do it. You don't go off half-cocked right now. So, like I said, not telling you guys to get it on, but I'm just telling you guys to just chill. To chill. Summonable Trap. Hey, good to see you. I know you hope everything's worked out for you. It's been a little while. So was the guy asking the gun question at the time in on it? I don't know. It was a little weird though, because that's when he got killed, was talking about guns. And then Kimbo Nice says, how many guns can you print in an hour? It's time. Well, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to buy a 3D printer, chat, and then download the files. So, divisive. Anyone to the right of Trotsky is a Nazi. Yes, very true. So let's see here. What is... Yes, that was the newscaster. There was a guy saying, we don't know if it's a celebration. Yeah. He celebrated a gun right into his face. And that just shows you he doesn't know what he's talking about. Nobody just randomly walks around with rifles and goes, woo! Like, you're not Saddam, where you're standing out in front of a rally and you start cranking off rounds out of your rifle. Edward says, you know, I have no idea how much the left hates us. Oh, they do. Oh, I know they absolutely hate us. They want us dead in a ditch. And how little they care about where someone falls on the right wing scale. This guy's telling the truth about how they feel. Well, I understand that. If I'm to the right of Mao, I'm a Nazi. I get that. I'm reactionary. Yes. 86, Matthew Dowd. Exactly. So. What does water rate do to my body? Guys, it's because of the fucking Rumble thing it was attached to. Yes, the media failed to realize that the talking heads, they roll just like everyone else's. Yes. So. Terabus says the people who do think it's now really aren't here. I agree. The people who think it's now are out fucking getting ready. And that's a scary thought, what they might do. So. Having the tough love that you got to have a battle plan. It is. You have to plan your work and work your plan. You know, just like watch Ronin. They had a chance to go attack the case. And what did they do? They stayed put and they stuck with their plan. They waited for a day and then they pulled their op. So, what's a secret signal? Oh, you'll hear people say it. You'll know when it's time. Let me see here. Yeah. Charlie says there are too many of them. Questioner asks how many mass shooters there have been in total, and before Charlie can answer. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, let me see here. We are doing something. We're waiting. Yeah, we are doing something. Waiting is something. Organizing in your community. Believe it or not, Antifa had that right. Organize, plan in your community, develop mutual aid. And then when it comes to the next step of talking about kinetic things, very easy. Very easy. That's the easy part. Developing community is the hard part. The go word is Clydreen. It's the go word. Obscure Crime says that Ron said the local VFW was on fire all afternoon and were still fired up when he left at 8. I can see that. Like I said, people, this has done nothing but radicalize people. Yeah. So the secret signal is it's Judgment Day. Shit, gave it away. Yeah. Yep. Aphex. It's been a member for 2 months. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support, man. It says, Je suis Charlie. Yes. Yes, I am Charlie as well. I am Charlie as well. So let me see here. What else? I think we're all caught up. We're all caught up with people. I seem to remember the phrase, hold the line from long ago. Yes. Yes, hold the line. Hold the line. Morris Apple says something tree, something water. Yeah, well, the Tree of Liberty, if we're refreshing with the blood of troons and communists, I don't think the tree is going to last very long. We'll refresh the Tree of Liberty with somebody else's blood, but we're not spilling troon blood on the Tree of Liberty. Let me tell you that much. You'll kill the tree. You'll kill the tree. All the estrogen and hormones in it will be awful. All the soy will cause it to wither and die. Yes. You want scritches for Clyde? Let me see if I'll get him in here. Yeah, the SSRIs aren't good for the trees. So, let me see here. What is the... Let me see here. I'm trying to find the rest of... trying to see what the hell I had here. Yeah, Nick Freitas. We'll pull him up. No, I don't. This chat thing in freaking Twitter is a weird feature. I don't understand the point of it. Yeah, this is. I haven't seen this. This is good. Here, let's. Oh wow, this is not pulling up here. Hold on, chat. Is this not pulling up for anybody? Because that was weird. It's not there. Hold on. Is this pulling up? Oh, here we go. Add a stage. That's why it's not there. Hold on. 1 second here, chat. This is live TV. This is live TV for you, everybody here. There we go. This Nick Freitas. So here we go. Don't play the video Ron sent. Oh, I won't. I'm not. YouTube will nuke us for that, so we're not doing it. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good argument. You know, say what you want about Charlie Kirk, but he didn't go around screaming at people for being troons or all the stuff that like any one of us might do. I mean, he was pretty chill about things. And yeah. Yeah. Brandon Herrera commented and he says you don't hate journalists enough. And this is that same video we were just sawing here. We just saw here with Matthew Dowd running a suck. Yeah, so you hate journalists enough. And wokeness, which I'm pretty sure is Poso, Jack Posobiec. That is also they're showing that. You know, these people can just fuck themselves. These journalists. Remember, they are not. Do they count as people? I don't know. I don't think so. At the end of the day. So. So here we go. This is actually a good one. This shows kind of the pandemonium going on. And here we go. This will give you guys a bit of the taste of what was going on right then.
The shooting, you could see people running away pretty quickly as you.
Oh, it was muted. Shit, I'm sorry.
At gunshots.
How was it muted?
The FBI director Kash Patel has weighed in on this. He just tweeted the following: "We're closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and the investigation." Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use. Why?
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast. He opines on almost everything. He's been very closely aligned with the president since his initial run for office in 2015, 2016. And his ties to Trump really elevated his own brand. He was really quite young as an activist when the president launched his initial campaign. And he has kind of ridden along with MAGA since 2016 and built up a massive, massive brand of his own. His group has brought in tons and tons of money.
It's like It's like they're talking about like Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi or some shit. Yeah, he's just laying out why the right's evil. It's good. It's good because he was drunk. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say MAGA like it's a slur because that's all they got. Now, guys, here's Nick Freitas. Sorry I ruined that for you, chat. So, anyways, here you go. Palmyra says, "Do I need to send you one of my 20-year-old interns to show you streaming stuff?" No. So, anyways, here you go.
Let's get one thing straight. They didn't murder Charlie Kirk because he was an extremist or a fascist or a threat to democracy or inciting violence or any of the other reasons that they're now trying to put out on X and TikTok and everywhere else. They murdered him because he was effective. He was effective. The man made incredible arguments while at the same time always trying to seek out common humanity. He might have disagreed with arguments, but he didn't hate anyone. And they murdered him. That's what happened. Let's get one thing straight. They didn't murder Charlie Kirk because he was an extremist or a fascist or a threat to democracy or inciting violence or any of the other reasons that they're now trying to put out on X and TikTok and everywhere else. They murdered him because he was effective.
Sorry. But yeah, they murdered him because he was effective. He murdered because he was effective. Convinced he could win through discourse alone. If they killed him, they kill us all. They do. They do. Can you share this link, please? Yeah, I'll play it here. Yes, I played it twice to make sure you guys got your fill of it. Here, I'll put this in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat. There you go, guys. That should be there. That should be in the Twitter chat as well. If you guys don't know who Nick Freitas is, he's actually a pretty cool dude. He's a Virginia politician, former Green Beret. Got a lot of followers. And he says here, and this stuff is true. These knives, the truest knives, they cut the deepest. The truest knives, they cut the deepest. I'm told as a state representative, this is the moment where I'm supposed to express my condolences and then stand and stop. Hold on one second, chat. Clyde is getting in trouble by 2.0. He's barking a lot. And we condemn political violence to stand unified as one people, but we aren't one people, are we? We haven't been for a while, and there's really no point in pretending if there ever was. We are two very different peoples. We may occupy the same piece of land. That's where the similarities end. He says, I convinced myself for a long time whenever people call me a racist, a bigot, a sexist, a fascist, a threat to democracy, for even the most innocent of agreements, it was simply hyperbolic rhetoric done for effect. And now the effect is a widow and 2 orphan children. Because the left couldn't bear the thought of a peaceful man debating them and winning. I don't think they realize yet, but murdering Charlie is going to be remembered as a day where we finally woke up to what this fight really is. And this is where I think it's true. It's not a civil dispute among countrymen. It's a war between diametrically opposed views, which cannot coexist with one another. Someone has to win. Someone has to lose. Charlie tried to fight that fight through argumentation, through discussion, and through peaceful resolution. And the other side murdered him. Not because he was extreme or inciting violence or any other slur they hurled at him. They murdered him because he was effective, because he was unafraid, because he inspired others and made them feel like they had a voice, that they weren't alone. And he did it at the very institutions which have fermented so much hatred towards conservatives. I don't want to stand in solidarity with the other side of the aisle. I want to defeat you. I want to defeat the godless ideology that kills babies in the womb, sterilizes confused children, and turns the cities into cesspools of degeneracy and lawlessness. And those people that murdered Charlie Kirk. I agree. Social media is aflame right now with the celebration of his death. I wonder if any of them understand what has just happened. If there's a Yamamoto somewhere in their midst warning all they've done is awoken a giant. I doubt it. They gave up such introspection and self-awareness long ago. I don't know what will happen next. I just know that it won't be the same as what has happened in the past. There will be thoughts and prayers. Charlie would have wanted prayers. Not for himself, but for those left behind and for the country that he loved. But then there will be a reckoning of some sort. My Christian faith requires me to love my enemies and pray for those who curse me. It does not require me to stand idly by in the midst of savagery and barbarism, quite the opposite. So every time I feel tired, every time I feel discouraged or overwhelmed, I am going to watch the video of a good man being murdered in Utah. I will force myself to watch it, and then I will return to the work of destroying the ideology responsible for that and so much more. Rest with God, Charlie. Your fight is over. Ours is just beginning, and that's true. It's true, chat. This is the end of the beginning. This is not the beginning of the end. So. Yes, which way, Western man? Very true. Which way? Nick Kreuzer says muted. Thank you. And then Automata says for $2. What about the water weight? Answer me, Sean. Katie, who's been a member for 18 months, says open your Bibles tonight, chat. And that's not a bad thing to do. Take a look at your Bible, open it up, wherever, and just read it. Read a little. Read a couple verses. Never a bad idea. It's not a bad idea tonight, on a night like tonight. Or if you happen to have your phone out, you can do it where it's like pick a random spot in the Bible and let me read it. Morse Apple for $5 says, I've had my fill of the internet today. Time to disconnect. Don't get lost in the sauce, folks. Keep yourself balanced. Very true. Very true. Keep yourself balanced. What the hell happened to my camera? I hate it when it does this. Well, no, chat, you can see the corner. It's so weird when it does this, though. And I'm not talking about Ezekiel 25:17. No. Not that, chat. Not that. So. Jefferson Post says for $2, it's time to defund student loans. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. And then Sloopy with the gondola PFP for $9.99. Thank you. Harris Riley says no one went Somalia, Myanmar, also known as Burma, or the Yugoslavian civil wars nowadays. They're brutal with barely defined front lines. This isn't the 1860s one. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be something you are not prepared for. This wouldn't have happened if Tiger King was president. Maybe not. Maybe not. So. Foley says, just because you won't put it up with anymore doesn't mean that you're guilty. Very true. Very true. Nick Kreuzer says, Psalm 137, okay. All the Psalms are okay. All the Psalms are okay. Psalm 54 is a good one. Psalm 52. That's a good one as well. Those are very good ones. There's a couple of good ones out there. So, and when you learn really about what they are, it's, and I will say this, I think Psalm 54 is really a very, very good one. Psalm 54 is, really one of the best ones. Save me, God, by your name, and vindicate me by your strength. Hear my prayer. Give ear to the words of my mouth. I am in a strange land, and ruthless men seek my life. They have not set God before them. It's powerful. That God is my helper. The Lord is with those who uphold my life. He will pay my enemies for their evil. God will take care of business. He will cut them off in your truth. I freely sacrifice to you. I will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all trouble. and my eyes have seen its desire upon my enemies. It's a very good one. It's a very good one. So, JDK Buck is saying Psalm 51 if you're Eastern Orthodox. Yeah. Kathy, your realtor in New Jersey. Guys, if you are in New Jersey, you need to buy, sell, lease, or do anything with real estate, Kathy is your realtor. Find her and hook her up. She will take care of you. Remember, that's in New Jersey, not the Channel Island of Jersey. Wombat Mommy says, I know what my water weight looks like. Yeah, Psalm 137 does come to mind. Yeah. My cat's name is Karen. Someone on X is calling this an Archduke Ferdinand moment. Remember, when Archduke Ferdinand got killed, nobody thought it was going to turn into anything. Remember, when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated, it turned into the July Crisis. And then very quickly it turned into the Franco-German War, which very quickly became World War I, the Great War. But nobody realized at the time what they were dealing with. So that's the problem. You don't know until you're in the midst of it. You don't know how bad the maelstrom is. So people saying that, it's tough to know because you don't know what's happening. The littlest sparks have made the greatest fires. So you just don't know. You don't know. Bubonic Chronic says, I'm scared, Sean. Well, don't be scared. You don't have to be scared. Did I see H3's reaction? No. The part about millstones for pedophiles still applies. It does. It does. I am not reading the Pigden Bible. No. What about what somebody once told me? Har, 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 har. Michael W. for $2 says, Matthew Dowd has now turned off comments on X. Lamau. Yes, the moderate right is dead. Yeah, that's the thing. They have driven so many people into the more hard right, which, welcome, brothers. Welcome, brother. Are we selling our cloaks now? It's never a bad idea to sell your cloaks. Bastodon says, I got John 16:33 as a random verse. Let's see here. Do I follow the weird Catholic Bible? There are I do, but when you read Psalm 54, is I'm a stranger in an alien land and ruthless men seek my life. I think that's in the King James Bible. That is fucking dope the way it's worded. There are some things I like in the other Bibles that are out there. Tia Nena got Psalm 23. Some of you guys got other things here. JDK Buck got Titus 1:15. Well, there you go. Yeah. So, Eastern Orthodox has 151 Psalms. I do know that, yes. So, am I Catholic? Yes. Yes, I am not a fan of the papacy usually, but yes, I am Catholic. Serbia is doing Serbian things. That's true. Yes. So, Ecclesiastes comes to mind, especially when Solomon encourages the reader to contemplate our mortality. Yes. Yes, and Harris Riley's correct. After Franz Ferdinand died, the July Crisis happened, and Poincaré was trying to get back from Russia, and the Schlieffen Plan was set into motion, and the German army rolled into Belgium. So, yeah. Aaron Hack says it scares me. Well, it's like Bane said. Now's not the time for fear. That comes later. Now's not the time for fear. Bubonic Chronic says, I didn't even pay this man money and he still read my passage. A true gentleman. It's not about getting paid. It's about interacting with people. It's about having a conversation. Especially in a night like tonight. We're not covering a court filing or a court case or reacting to something. This is us. It's bros being bros. So. No, am I your new law pope? I do not want that title. So, yes, Peacenik says, I'm late. Did I say it was illegal or not? Yes, guys, believe it or not, murder is illegal. You cannot murder people. You shouldn't murder people. You will get arrested and charged. And in Utah, you can get the firing squad for murder if it's capital murder. Stranger in a Strange Land was a title by Heinlein. Never realized it's King James Version origins. I don't think it is. It has KJV origins. It just says I'm a stranger in an alien in a strange land and ruthless men seek my life. So, I'm Catholic like Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. Well, thank you. Yes. Let's see here. Is it true that the Catholics and Protestants in Northern Ireland have chilled out to join forces? Yes. Yes. They have. They have kind of buried the hatchet for a while. So yes. And that's the other thing too. When World War I started, just a few weeks, we'll be home by Christmas. The British Expeditionary Force was sent out and they're like, give the Jerry's hell in August. By November, they were all gone. The entire British Expeditionary Force. You guys don't understand the scope of how bad World War I got right away. It was a meat grinder from the start. So yeah, everybody didn't think it was a big deal. And then by, you look around, it's 1916 and you're in the Somme and you just lost 1 million, you put 1 million men on the field to move like a couple of kilometers. So yes, open up Proverbs tonight. Analog says, you're a real one, Sandwich Man. Well, thank you. How would you defend the Kirk shooter? By, insanity? There's probably not a whole lot you could do at this point. You might argue, hey, they found, they stopped and searched other people, false identities, mistaken identity. I mean, if there's nothing that ties him and he doesn't confess, there's a lot you could try, but I doubt it's going to work. Hopefully it would. Maybe you get somebody in the jury who says not guilty. But they probably retry that guy. So. Captain Forever for $5 says Deuteronomy 32:35. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for their day of calamity is at hand. So, yes, when did murder become illegal? And Marlene says, yes, Heinlein took it from that famous verse. Really? I did not know that. And Heinlein in his office always kept a loaded 1903 Springfield rifle. But he said, you never know when you'll have to start shooting communists. Are AR-180s still doing the work up in Northern Ireland? No, I think they're using sticks and bats right now on the yeah. That's how the crusade started too. Yeah, little by little until you're all the way in it. Kind of like Ukraine today, a little bit. So, let's see here. Trying to catch up. Chugi Show is saying, I wonder what precautions similar to Charlie Kirk are being told to take by authorities, because let's face it, nothing outdoors now. Too much of an external threat like that. And even indoors, it's going to be tough to control. Like Tim Pool said, he's canceling all kinds of shit right now. He's refusing to go out and meet people. And for right now, till they could develop better security protocols, true. A lot of metal detectors, a lot of checks, but no outdoor stuff. Because even though this guy was close, people making 1,000-yard shots is easy now. It's called ELR, extreme long range, but tons of people can do it. And going out to a mile, tons of people can do that. The ability of shooters to progress better and better and better and faster and more and more and more and more and more. Distance is increasing, and it's increasing due to things like enhanced optics, Horus reticles, all kinds of stuff. If you guys watch the Magpul Precision Shooting Series, they teach you how to use like a 308 at a mile, and that's enough to kill a man. So Mike Nuidomi says, Dagestani lawyer, I'm very sad. Hmm. I bet it hits close to home for Trump. I bet it does. I bet it does. Heinlein did have a hate boner for commies. Yes, he did. Heinlein was so based, he was foundational. I agree. Ben Shapiro is done with public stuff for now. I get. And he says he's been wearing a vest for like 2 years. I'm surprised he hasn't been wearing a bulletproof vest for longer. So. You better lube up the boomsticks, yeah. Weird Tiger Ray says, did I see the crazy lady suing Turtle Boy, Cosgrove, Tully, and Haley? Yes, and I need to get caught up on a bunch of that stuff. I have not had a chance to read it. P6 says, well, at least Tim's staying home, so that's a positive. Like, har, har, har. You never seen Ben so angry and hurt. They were really good friends. Did he mention his wife, who's a doctor, being upset and angry too? I'll have to watch it. I didn't see it, though. Destiny's pathetic response. I'm sure it's pathetic like his wiener. Can we look at Destiny's response? Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look real quick. I guess we'll end on that. Real quick. Lurker59 says, wisdom, 212. Let us whine late for the righteous man, because he is inconvenient to us and opposes our actions. He reproaches us for our sins against the law and accuses us sins against our training. So, Dead Snake, it's the same reason for me. It's the same reason I have a hate boner I have for commies. Read Starship Troopers in like the 6th grade. And then I read Moon is the Harsh Mistress in like 8th grade. Very, very effective on a young lad's mind. We already did Trump's response. So let's see here. What did Destiny say? I guess we'll pull up Destiny. We'll pull up Epstiny. Let me see here. Let's see here. Come on, chat. What is this here? Oh, Destiny. Here we go. All right, Destiny weighed in big on the Charlie Kirk talk. Let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what this big-brained guy's got to say. Let's see what Famosus Man has to say here, chat. Let's see.
Also, like shooting and everything is bad. It's bad. But like this is like for conservatives, this is like kind of fuck around and find out. This is what they want. Remember, you're like deploying the National Guard to places. You're sending the Marines around. You're talking about us, go to war with people. Like this is what we're kind of gearing up for. So I mean, you can't really be surprised when this is the kind of shit that's happening, right? Like when politicians are getting killed, when people are, acting fucking unhinged and insane, and you're all feeding into this like crazy. Like, yeah, there are going to be deaths on both sides of it. That's how it works. This is how.
Fuck you, you fucking coward. Fuck you, you fucking coward ass motherfucker. Go leak some pictures, naked pictures of women, you fuck. You dickless little faggot.
This is how like a degenerating democracy appears.
Motherfucker, you should be terrified right now. Because Steve from Omaha, if shit kicks off, you have fucking nothing. You're just like everybody else. This is the best timeline for you. You should be fighting tooth and fucking nail to preserve it. Fuck him. Fuck him. I'd tell him to suck a dick, but he'd enjoy it. Yeah, per his own words, there should be some angry dads looking for him, and at some point they will. Yeah, how could shooting people's bed have a butt attached to it? Yeah. Once again, man, you want to talk about fuck around and finding out. You don't want this fucking game, Destiny. What are those guns behind them? They're props. I mean, I don't. One of them looks like a Benelli M4, some sort of AR above it. I'm sure those don't ever get used. So, yeah, Destiny is a weak little bitch with ED and a god complex. Yeah. Yes, I would tell him something tough like having a monogamous relationship. So, yeah, you're talking about this like you have no fucking idea what you're asking for, Destiny, or what's really happening.
So, I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of stupid to act surprised on this.
The same. All right, we'll continue to follow.
Is that really that surprised? Like, to be, is it really stupid to act surprised? He predicted the left would lose it sooner after Trump took to office. Yeah, but so his own son hates him, doesn't he? Yes, he does. So John Tron continues to win. Yes. So what do you expect from a guy that gets pegged? I don't know. What do you expect from a guy who probably sucked off Nick Fuentes? So. Yes, Tia, he has a 14-year-old son who fucking A-logs the shit out of him on Twitter. So. Yes, are we surprised that the communists are a bunch of mass-murdering psychopaths who cannot be reasoned with? No. You shouldn't be. Are they feral animals that need to be put down? Yes, it looks very much like that's the case. That's very much looking like the case. It's very much looking like the case. So, very much the case. And then, I guess, you know what, this is actually the best thing here, since we are on Destiny. Reddit. Le Reddit moment at r Ask Philosophy. When is it morally okay to assassinate someone like Charlie Kirk? Once again, these people don't understand the fucking world and the shit they wish to bring. These people don't understand violence at all. And I'm not claiming to fully understand violence, but at least I understand it's something I don't want. And he says, I never agreed with the word out of his mouth that I don't believe he was a good person. But does that justify his murder? If so, why? If not, then when is assassination justified? What is the morality of assassinating a harmful political commentator versus a harmful politician? I know this is a controversial subject and I condemn any violence, but I'm curious as to what certain philosophical beliefs would have to contribute to a conversation like this. Not just because I think it'd be interesting, but also because I know next to nothing about philosophy. Please let me know, because this has been racking my brain for the past few hours, but I think it's an important conversation in America's political climate. Translation, he's getting BTFO'd by his family probably on Facebook. So. These people. There is just, I got nothing, chat. I got nothing. So. Was that Fed posting? I don't think so. It's like, so you don't condemn the violence. I agree. Hubbleson says, wasn't Charlie Kirk probably dead 2 seconds after? He was pretty much dead right as soon as that bullet hit him. The way it hit him, like, that was it. Maybe his brain was awake for a second or two, but he probably done. Probably done. I mean, that's the thing. I pray that it was quick. I pray that it's quick, and I pray that it was as painless as it could be. For his own sake. For the sake of his family, I hope it was very fast as well. But for his sake, I hope it was, yeah. So, when you said seeing his body shudder, that's a central nervous system getting smoked as well. So, yeah. Yeah, he was lights out instantly, and I hope he was. They said he was stabilized, but I doubt he was conscious. They might have kept his heart beating, but I doubt his brain was, I don't think he ever recovered consciousness. So, like I said, I hope it was quick. I hope it was quick. I really do. I hope to God it was quick. Yeah, I'd like to think he was dead before he hit the ground. Didn't even realize what happened to him. That's the most we could probably hope for. So, yeah, beating heart doesn't mean anything when the brain is not getting blood. I agree. Like I said, I hope it was quick, and I hope he didn't realize it happened. Knowing his family was there was devastating. His family travels around with them, so it's not a surprise they'd be there. It's not a surprise they would be there. It's not a surprise at all. So with that said, chat, I do have something for us to end on here. And if you guys are new, thank you for all being here. There's 700 of you. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Like I said, I'm an attorney. We cover all kinds of legal stuff. Tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern, we have our normal Thursday night show. Cover all kinds of legal stuff that's out there. I mean, we'll touch on Charlie Kirk as well, but the stuff that happened in Charlotte, the airline pilot who took shrooms and tried to crash his airplane pled out. A guy in the Czech Republic got caught speeding in his Formula One car after years and years of not being caught. We have all kinds of stuff we're covering. Tomorrow night at 9:30. And while these are interesting times, I hope we don't have anything more interesting happen before my show tomorrow. So come over and watch it. I think you guys will enjoy it if you enjoyed your time here. So enough of that shilling. We're going to end on, I think, actually, I don't know how to look at this here. But I think it's really cool. And I will tell you guys, just remember until next time, just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. That said, though, thoughts and prayers to the Kirk family and to Charlie Kirk. Godspeed, Charlie.
That is the best.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking.
You guys are right. That probably wasn't. So we'll just leave it at this. Good night, chat.